Welcome to StriveScan College Launchpad. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We will have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share some more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer questions. My name is Beverly, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/launch. Also be sure to check out the other Launchpad programming throughout this week, which you can find where you got this information. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, University of Mary Washington.
All excited to be here with you. Let me share my screen and we can get going. All righty. All right, thanks so much for having me today. My name is Adam Moore. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at the University of Mary Washington. Really excited to give you a little bit info about UMW and all the awesome opportunities we have. So quick facts, 4,100 undergraduate students at the university, and we're located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So that's about an hour south of DC and about an hour north of Richmond. So what does that mean for you as an undergraduate student? That means tons of opportunities for internships, research, really good spot in the Commonwealth and on the East Coast for really cool opportunities on campus and off. Students represented from 34 different states. So while we are one of the Commonwealth's public liberal arts and sciences institution, we are a state school. That doesn't mean we're only bringing in students from Virginia. We have students from very diverse backgrounds, and you even can see 38 different countries represented on campus as well. I'm also our international coordinator, so that makes me really excited. We brought in our largest international student population last year. So really building on that really close-knit and diverse community is something that Mary Washington's all about. And like I said, that third bullet mentioned already, really ideal location for exciting opportunities. So if you want that really close-knit community on campus with maybe bigger opportunities available off, really good spot for you. Let's see here. So a couple quick facts in terms of that small classroom environment I mentioned. Average class size is about 19 for us, 14-to-1 student faculty ratio. And one thing I always hit home about Mary Washington is if you want to get in the labs right away, if you want to connect with professors from day one you step foot on campus, you can certainly do that. If you're interested in the sciences, Jepson Science Center was just refinished in the last year or so. So beautiful facilities for opportunities to do independent research, opportunities to do faculty-led research, and get published during your time, during your undergraduate experience. So as you can see, a lot of dollars there devoted to the undergraduate research side of things, and not just in terms of the sciences, right? Humanities. We have a fantastic theater program that does costume design research. So tons of really awesome opportunities from a research perspective and really connecting with your professors on campus. So from a majors perspective, I mentioned the sciences, tons of fantastic opportunities on that side of things, and all the way to the humanities as well. So we're broken up into 3 colleges at the university: College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, and College of Education. So based off of that, you could probably kind of denote that business is a big one for us, business admin, as well as education. We were founded as a teacher's college back in the day. So that's a big part of who we are, really educating the future educators of the country, which is really exciting. So other programs that I always like to denote, psych is a big one for us, biological sciences, so biochem, and then one that maybe might pique your interest is historic preservation. We're the first and premier program in the country for historic preservation. So if you have interest in working at museums down the line, doing internships at the Smithsonian, or a number of really cool opportunities, definitely might be a good fit for you, as well as international affairs and political science are really big ones for us as well, based off our location so close to DC. Also have a ton of minor opportunities, plus those pre-professional programs, right? If you're interested in maybe continuing your education after your time at Mary Washington. So with those dental, law, or medical programs, really exciting opportunities from that. Again, I mentioned earlier, connecting with professors, really getting those intimate classroom opportunities during your undergraduate, which can lead to really exciting opportunities for post grad opportunities. So obviously the educational component is such a large part of the experience during your undergraduate career, but we want to make sure you're having fun too, and tons of learning opportunities there as well. So 150 clubs and activities on campus and organizations, everything, from the traditional a cappella groups on campus. Student government is a big one at Mary Washington, all the way to a botany club and an Eagle bagpipe band. We have some really, really cool opportunities for students to have some fun in between classes and whatnot. So if you're interested in athletics, we're a Division III school in the Coast to Coast Conference, really competitive conference there as well, 22 different varsity athletic programs. And then, obviously we want you to enjoy your experience at Mary Washington, but, study abroad's a big thing for a lot of our students as well. So 157 programs, 54 different countries. We want you to have a really diverse experience during your undergraduate career. And studying abroad could be a way to do just that. Before I go to the next slide, that top right photo, that's actually our president, President Pano. And if that gives you a good idea of he likes to have fun, our students like to have fun, always love showing that photo to prospective students. So it's a really fun environment to learn and grow. As you can see, some deadlines to think about for your senior year. We have an early decision deadline, early action, and regular decision. We're on the Common App, have our own Mary Washington app as well. You can see we give strong scholarships for our in and out of state students. You can see what a general profile for our general population student and then our honors program student looks like there as well. So just some quick facts. We are test optional. We have been for quite some time now. So if you're not sure if you should submit or not, reach out to your college counselor and your admissions counselor, and we'd be happy to have those conversations with you to see what the best move for you is when you apply. So I won't go over alums too much, but we have some students doing alums doing some great things across the country, and this is just a few we love to highlight. So follow us on Facebook. We have our own UMW Instagram as well, so that's a good view of what a day in the life of a Mary Washington student looks like. So that ends my presentation, and I appreciate you listening, and I'll throw some info in the chat box for everyone. Thanks.
Next up, we have Ramapo College of New Jersey.
Thank you. Okay, hi everybody. Thanks so much. Oh, am I sharing the screen? Am I good? Thanks so much for joining me today. Really quickly, my name is Kevon Hemmings. I'm one of our admissions counselors at Ramapo College. Just a little bit about Ramapo. We are a public school in New Jersey, in Bergen County in Mahwah, New Jersey. We're based at the top of the state, right on the borderline of New Jersey and New York. We have about 6,000 students in total. That makes us the smallest four-year public school in New Jersey. So that makes us definitely very unique in terms of our size. Our student to faculty ratio is there on the screen. Our average class size is 21 and our largest is 35. What makes us unique is that as a public school in New Jersey, to have smaller class sizes, that's very unique. Usually to have those type of class sizes in New Jersey, students usually look for a private school, but we're the only public school that can give you, a capped class at 35 students. So we're happy about that as well. And those are some of our rates at the bottom: graduation, retention, and the amount of students employed or in graduate school within a year. Okay. All right, great. So these are some of our majors, minors, and concentrations. On our right side, you see some of our academic schools. Those all 5 are academic schools, and some examples underneath each one to see what kind of majors that we do offer. Some of our very popular majors, nursing, we're almost kind of known in New Jersey for our nursing program, is very, very, very revered, but also computer science, psychology, anything in business, social work, and animation is one of our fastest growing. And over to our left side here, 4+1 programs, right? You stay that extra year and get that master's degree, makes you stand out from someone who probably didn't stay for their master's, right? So just that one extra year will help you become more marketable in the workforce. So we do push students to stay for that one extra year. And then at the bottom, we have joint degree programs, different programs where we have specific partnerships with other schools. If you want to go into medical school, dental school, physical therapy, law school, pharmacy, we have others as well that's not listed here. So we do have a bunch of those as well. And we are big on internships. We're in Mahwah, New Jersey. We're about 45 minutes away from New York City, the biggest city in the United States. Why not take advantage of that being close to us and offering more than 1,000 internships in New York City? We've had students at so many different companies, including Nickelodeon, Sony Music, The Jimmy Fallon Show, Cheddar News, NBC, CBS, NJ News, etc. So we definitely have a lot of internship opportunities for students as well. And we also have international internships. So if you want to intern in Ireland or in South Korea, etc., we can set that up as well. Okay, so studying abroad, we do, like I said before, have a bunch of programs globally. Really 1 week to 1 year, we do allow students to study abroad flexibly, and you can study abroad during some of the breaks as well. Winter break, spring break, summer break. Also D3 sports. So we do have a bunch of sports teams. I am the athletics liaison in our admissions office as well. If you have any specific questions about what sports we offer, I can go over that as well. We are ranked again. We just got it for 2022. So I need to update this. We got it about last week. #1 college dorms in New Jersey again. And we are in the top 30 in the United States this year. This is by niche.com, by their ranking. So living on campus is definitely a huge thing for students at Ramapo. You know, you're never sharing bathroom with your whole floor, semi-private bathrooms. You could bring your car as a freshman, full kitchen by the time you're a sophomore, AC as a freshman, heat as a freshman. We don't charge you for laundry, etc. So there is a lot that comes with living on campus at Ramapo, and also a bunch of clubs, organizations. The worst thing to be is bored in college, right? So we want to make sure you guys join clubs, organizations, and get involved. Okay, just make sure see this can go to the next slide here. Sorry about that, you guys. Just getting back in. All right, great. So just applying to Ramapo. We're on the Common App, the Coalition app, and our own regular Ramapo application. So you could choose either one. We are test optional across the board. So very happy to say we do not need your test score for anything, even for our nursing program. Our average GPA is a 3.4. We do need 1 letter recommendation. And if you have AP exams or anything like that, please feel free to give that to us as well. These are some of our deadlines. I can go over them more at the end. We're not ruling admission. If you do have any questions about that, let me know. And tuition at the top, our housing and meals here, and some of our scholarships we do offer. This may change next year, but we do have a half tuition scholarship and a full tuition scholarship, as well as an EOF scholarship for New Jersey students. We are having tours, you guys, Monday through Friday and select Saturdays at 10 and 1. And here's all of our social media as well. We were ranked in the top 50 this year for our most beautiful college campuses in the United States. So definitely a very, very nice campus. Here's some of my information that I will throw in the chat if you do have any extra questions for me at the end. Thanks so much, you guys.
Next up is Christopher, Newport University.
Trying to stop sharing here. Okay, great.
All right, I think I was able to end it for you. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Jess McDonald. I am the admission officer at Christopher Newport University. Hopefully you can see my slide there. Christopher Newport is a public liberal arts and sciences university of about 5,000 students. Of that 5,000, only 200 of them are graduate students, so our enrollment is almost entirely undergraduate. We do have about 5,000 students total on our campus. We are very much a values-driven institution, and we emphasize the study and practice of leadership, service, honor, excellence, and those 4 things really drive everything that we do here. We feel that we're able to provide the personal attention, small classes, and tight-knit community that you would expect at a private school, but with the resources, opportunities, and costs of a public institution. Our campus itself is located in Newport News, Virginia, which for those of you that may not be too familiar is within southern coastal Virginia, right in between Williamsburg and Virginia Beach, so a lot of beaches nearby. We're about an hour from Richmond, about 2.5, 3 hours from Washington, D.C., so there's a lot to take advantage of in the surrounding areas. All of our buildings on campus have been built or rebuilt in the last 20 years or so, meaning that we do have newer and state-of-the-art technology, lab spaces, classrooms, performing arts centers, athletic facilities, and residence halls for students to both live and learn in while they're here at CNU. Diving a bit into academics, Christopher Newport offers over 90 different areas of study, and we encourage students to explore and pursue multiple areas. Our academic offerings range from theater to electrical engineering to our business school, which is one of the top 50 in the nation for undergrads, and neuroscience, which we also offer at the undergraduate level, and many, many more in between. Some of our most popular majors tend to be biology, business, computer science, communication, and psychology. However, most of our students do come in undecided, and there is plenty of time and resources to help you figure out what it is that you want to study. Whatever it is that you do choose to study here at CNU, you'll be doing so in smaller classes. About 70% of our classes have 19 students or fewer. Only 2% of our classes have over 50 students. So most of them will be around 19 students or less. In these classes, you'll be taught by accomplished teacher scholars, as over 90% of our professors have a PhD or the highest degree that they can have in their field. And we don't have any teaching assistants. So real professors in the classrooms, engaging with students, serving as mentors to students, and also providing them opportunities with undergraduate research, which is pretty big here at CNU. While academics are certainly important, we do also recognize that there is a lot about the CNU experience that takes place outside of the classroom. And you'll find that CNU students are very involved. We have over 200 clubs, organizations, and on campus that range anywhere from culture and identity groups, Greek life, professional organizations, student government, service clubs, and a ton of different special interest groups. We also have athletics at the intramural level, club level, and varsity level. We are an NCAA Division III school with 24 varsity sports. Something I think that attributes to our campus and students being so active is that we are a residential campus. We have a 3-year residency requirement, so students are guaranteed housing through their junior year. The nice thing about that is that we do have great residence halls. All of our rooms starting freshman year are suite style, so you won't find any of those hall or communal style bathrooms anywhere on campus. Our residence halls do get bigger and better each year that you're here with us, with our upperclassmen living in apartment style housing. I may sound a little bit biased talking about our residence halls, but we are ranked in the top 10 for Prince Review's category for best college dorms. Having most of our students living here on campus, they're passionate about what it is they're studying, they're involved in clubs, organizations that they love, really makes for a great campus culture. We talk about these tight-knit relationships a lot here at CNU, and that's because it is a significant part of the CNU experience. There's a tight-knit community on our campus, which has personally been one of my favorite things about CNU. We have an honor code that really works and extends beyond the classroom to include the way that faculty, staff, students look out and care for one another. We have a speaking tradition, so when you walk past one another, you look up, you smile, you say hello. We like to say we are a community of door holders. So we take the little extra time and keep the door person behind you. And it's these details that these seem small, but they really do build to the overall sense of community we have here at CNU. I know we likely have students at various points of their college search process, but I do just want to touch briefly on the admission side of things. Each year, we receive about 7,500 applications for a freshman class of 1,200. We do review every single application we receive, and we do so using a holistic review process. That means that we're going to take into consideration more than just your GPA or test scores. Typically, a competitive applicant to CNU is taking a strong college prep curriculum, getting mostly A's and B's in those classes. On that slide there, you can see some of those middle 50% ranges for your reference. Using that GPA range as an example, that's a weighted 3.3 to 4.3. So that means that half our admitted students this past year fell within that range. 25% were above and 25% were below. And the same goes for those SAT and ACT ranges on the screen as well. And we have had a test optional policy for the past decade. The past 2 years, we have allowed all applicants to apply test optional, meaning not need to submit those test scores if you don't want to. The last thing on there, that we do have 3 different application plans, which come with 3 different deadlines. The first one, early decision, is a binding contract for students who know they want to come to CNU. We do have 2 other non-binding options, early action and regular decision. We do typically encourage students to apply early, whether that's early decision or early action, as by the time we get to regular decision, it does tend to get a bit more competitive. I will throw my information in the chat as well, because that wraps up the information that I had for you all, but I appreciate you letting me share a bit about Christopher Newport this evening, and don't hesitate to reach out if you do have any further questions.
Next is Ithaca College.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for having me. My name is Jessica Dietrich, and I'm an associate director at Ithaca College, and excited to be here with you this evening if you're connecting from the East Coast, of course. So Ithaca, often the draw initially, and the reason why you came to this session is the size of our school. So we have approximately 5,000 undergraduates at IC. We're considered a medium-sized college, but our average class size is only about 17, and our student to faculty ratio is 9:1. So our classes do resemble that of a much smaller institution than we are in reality. Our students come from all over the globe. We're therefore considered a residential type of community and campus, with most of our students residing in our area. And the Ithaca area, if you're not familiar, we're based in the Finger Lakes region of New York State. So we are about 4 hours away from New York City, closer to 6 hours from both Boston and Pittsburgh. We have approximately 100 different majors at IC across our 5 different schools, those being our School of Business, the Park School of Communications, our School of Health Science and Human Performance, our largest of the 5 schools, that being the School of Humanities and Sciences, and last but certainly not least, our School of Music, Theater, and Dance. And that is actually how Ithaca originated. So we were originally founded as a music conservatory, and we have since evolved into being a comprehensive liberal arts college. And we're a little bit different than your traditional liberal arts setting in that we do have some professional degree programs in addition to those, what we consider traditional liberal arts paths. So many different options, pretty multifaceted academically. What I would say that we're very passionate about and what we are proponents of is that hands-on experiential learning component. And this does stem from the piece that we are, again, our basis and founding being in those music and arts roots. And what I mean by that is we find that our students learn best through active performance, like a music student would. And so we incorporate that regardless of your program of study. And we have many facilities and resources on campus to help facilitate this effort. So things like laboratory spaces to facilitate undergraduate research, our career services office, which facilitates internship placements. Ithaca does have 2 satellite locations in both London and Los Angeles. So we're tapping into some major urban areas where we have many alumni who are based in those areas to network on behalf of our students. And we do that with frequency. As I mentioned earlier, we are predominantly a residential community and campus. So we see the vast majority of IC students reside on campus for all 4 years that they are enrolled with us. And they get involved in a variety and myriad of different ways. So I like to say this is not a one-size-fits-all experience. We see students who enroll at IC who have a variety of interests, and they're able to incorporate that into their everyday life in a variety of different ways. We're Division III athletics. We compete in the Liberty League. We have a great annual tradition called our Cortica Jug, which is our football rivalry against SUNY Cortland, one of the public institutions in the state of New York. This fall, that rivalry, the Cortica Jug, will be actually taking place at Yankee Stadium, just in New York City, rather. And we did host that at MetLife Stadium in 2019, and that broke all types of Division III sporting event records, which we're really excited about. And then I cannot fail to mention that Ithaca is gorgeous. So we are located in one of the most famously known college towns in the country. We share the city of Ithaca with both Cornell University and Tompkins Cortland Community College, along with a number of other nearby institutions. And so there is a fantastic downtown area, but also many different outdoor excursions and experiences available to our students. There are over 150 waterfalls and gorges within a 10-mile radius of the city of Ithaca, which is how we get our namesake, Ithaca is gorgeous. In terms of the admission process, we engage in an extremely holistic approach to application review. Generally speaking, students coming out of high school, we're looking for a solid B+ to an A student, but with a keen focus being on their curriculum taken while they have been in high school and while they're enrolled. And we have been a test optional institution for about 10 years now, since 2012. And we offer both merit and need-based types of financial awards to our students. And typically for most applicants, the only form that will need to be submitted to giving them full consideration for financial awards will be their FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So with that, we're going to take a very quick 1-minute tour of IC before I wrap up and pass it on to my fellow panelists.
Hey, welcome to Ithaca College. We only have a minute to take a tour. Let's go.
So if you're interested in taking an in-person tour, we are hosting visitors. We just went live with our summer visit calendar actually earlier this week. And so with that, I will put that into the chat if you have an interest in coming to see us on campus. And I have to say, the Finger Lakes is a wonderful area to be visiting over the summer months. So if you have any interest in vacationing, please stop by our campus too. But with that, I'm going to pass it off to our fellow panelists. Thanks for having me.
Next up is Pace University.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let me share my screen. Yes, so today is about, my name is Rolando Ignace. I'm an admissions counselor at Pace University. Today we're going to talk about our PACE path. Our PACE path allows our students to set goals for themselves while keeping their eyes on the prize of graduating in 4 years. Your PACE path can include all these or whatever you would like, such as research experiences, internships, global study, volunteer opportunities. You would work with your mentors and advisors to make sure that you are keeping these goals in mind while studying as well. PACE is made up of 6 colleges and schools. We have a total of 100+ majors and 35 combined degree programs. No matter which major you choose, the average class size is 20 students. All of our professors have the highest terminal degrees in their profession and are actively adjunct, means they're working in their respective fields, which gives our students insight to whatever profession they're looking to go into as well. 90% of PACE undergraduate students are employed or continuing education within 6 months of graduation. This is shown within our return on tuition investment, which we are top of in the nation, as a lot of our students, once they graduate, are competitive and are able to require the highest salaries in their fields due to the real world experiences they are able to have while studying here at PACE. Our New York City campus is located at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge, which puts us at the center of the world, as we are located in the financial district near Wall Street and City Hall, and just a train ride away from Times Square, a walking distance away from World Trade, and also a train ride away to anywhere else in the city and what the city has to offer as well. We also have our second campus, which is in Westchester County, which is home to a beautiful environmental center, nature trails, a pond. This is home to our D2 athletics as well. So if you are interested in sports, you will be based on our Westchester campus as well. For the application process, we accept both a Common App and our internal application. There's no preference as to what we look for. You would have to submit an official transcript, 2 letters of recommendation from, from a teacher or a school counselor, a personal statement or essay, and we are test optional since fall of 2019. So you don't have to submit any SAT if you don't feel like it represents you as a student. Also, all students are considered for our honors college and merit scholarships when they apply. There's no separate application or essay needed as well. These are some dates to keep in mind when applying to any university, but especially some of these dates are especially for PACE. We have October 1st, which is opening for the FAFSA application, as money do run dry sometimes. So the earlier you apply, the more likely you are to get the most money. We have early decision, which is a binding contract, and early action, which you get your decision early as well. And then we have December 15th for those who are interested in our performing arts, which has a 3-step application process, which is an academic application. Then you have to submit your pre-screen, and then you have to attend an in-person audition if you pass your pre-screen. And February 15th is for regular decision and nursing, which our nursing program is direct admittance, meaning you don't have to take any prerequisites in order to, once you're accepted, you automatically begin your clinicals as early as your second year. And then May 1st, guarantees housing deposit when you choose which university you would like to attend. All students, all of our undergraduate students get an average amount of 26,000 in PACE aid. This is a merit scholarship and separate from FAFSA application. And if you would like more information, this is my information, and I will also put it in the chat box for everyone to also visit us for a tour as well. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, now I'll ask our panelists to answer some of our Q&A questions as we wrap up today. I'd like to start by saying we appreciate all of your time and energy today. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
I'll get us started. I think one piece of advice I always give students from a logistical standpoint is create a spreadsheet. You heard a lot of really awesome information today from 5 different institutions. And after a while, it starts to blend together once that search gets a little bigger. So I always tell students to create a spreadsheet with the important information from each school you're looking at, and create a college email, because you're going to get bombarded by us pretty soon if you haven't already with email. So having a college email is always a tip I like to give.
Great. I guess my turn. My thing is definitely, if you can, don't overwhelm yourself with the amount of schools that you want to check out and the amount of schools you want to apply to. Average student, I think, applies to 10 now, and that number is probably going to keep going up. So try to really put your list down to, maybe 7 or under, so you can, physically either visit them or really give them a lot of time online in terms of the virtual tour, so you can focus your energy to those 7 max, but I would say less, but 7 colleges, so you can show them that you're interested.
My advice to kind of add on to that, I think as a high school junior, I was overwhelmed. I thought there were so many schools, didn't really know where to begin, didn't know what schools I wanted to narrow it down to. So I would encourage you to maybe think about your factors. So this virtual fair kind of breaks down to size. That's an important factor to think about, but maybe think about some other factors too. Maybe location, where you want to go to school, areas of study, do they have something there that you would possibly want to study, any facilities, amenities on campus that are important to you, admission requirements that they have. So maybe use some of those factors, think about those, and let those help you drive your college search, help you narrow down what schools that you want to check out more or apply to.
I would say tap into the people on the campuses that you're looking into as much as possible. And I say that because many of the colleges, all of them, I'm sure all the colleges on our panel this evening could have beautiful college campuses. There are so many highly rated programs out there. What is research has shown to be the most influential factor in what's going to influence your student while they're in college are the people who serve as their connectors, that serve as those references, that serve as the mentors as they're going through this learning process. So I would say, fortunately, in this day and age, there's so many different methodologies and ways to connect with people, whether it be virtually or in person. But do your most and put yourself out there to connect with those individuals at each of the respective campuses that you're researching, because again, those are going to be the most influential while you're there on that respective campus.
The advice I would give everyone going through the college search process is definitely visit the campuses that you're really interested in. I know sometimes a lot of students who think they really love a college or university, and then once they step on the campus, they're not really feeling it because they've never been there before. So I would make sure to visit the campuses to get a feel of the atmosphere and the students that are attending as well.
Thank you all. What's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
Mary Wash is a diverse community, and it's an environment where we help students succeed on a daily basis. I think it's a place that's super welcoming, and we have students, like I said, coming from across the country and the world, and it's an environment where we want to make sure we help you succeed on a daily basis.
Cool. With Ramapo, when we do open houses and big events, we always ask families, what's the one thing you would say about Ramapo? And statistically, the most written down word is friendly. And so I want everyone to know that it is a friendly campus. Of course, like Jessica said, there's a lot of beautiful campuses, a beautiful campus as well. It's close to really everything, and people like it. People have gone and graduated and said that they actually enjoyed it. And so that's what I'm going to leave you with, that Ramapo is a place where if you go, it's most likely a place you will enjoy.
For this question, I'm going to steal a quote from our university president, President Paul Tribble, and he likes to say that CNU is not a place for spectators. And so it's a place where people really get involved, and that may look like getting involved in clubs, organizations, but also other things. We have 4 what we call academic pillars, and those are things like undergraduate research, internships, study abroad, community service. So we have all these opportunities and really encourage students to get involved and not be a spectator, kind of be hands-on. And so that's something that I want to leave you with, that CNU is not a place for spectators. I want you to kind of be in there, getting involved and doing it yourself.
This is a great question, and it forces me to ask myself, what has kept you at Ithaca College for 12 years, Jess? And I have to say, it's the community, it's the people, again, who have made the school and the experience, even as a professional, that unique for me. And I think it's what's going to stand out when you come and visit and when you engage with our community. So we like to say, it's a good day to be a bomber. It's always a good day to be a bomber.
One thing I would like all students to remember about PACE is that we are a very competitive school, but as I like to say, our students are friendly competitive, meaning that if they do have internships that they attend, they are more than likely to help you attend their internships as well if you are interested in it. As well as our career services department is one of the best in the New York City area, as we opened a lot of opportunities to our students to get real world experiences, which helps them obtain a high level of interest once they graduate as well.
And one last question. What is one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
There's not one school for everyone. You just heard from a bunch of different schools, right? We all have fantastic things to offer. And a lot of students end up transferring after a year, and then they have awesome college careers at different places, right? So no, there's a school for you, and there's a lot of schools for you. And you just heard from 5 awesome ones, but just know you'll find a place that you feel like you're at home and in that community that you want to be in.
Man, that was a good one. I'm gonna just piggyback off of that. Yes, definitely that. As an admissions counselor, yes, I want you to go to Ramapo. Of course, I want everybody to go to Ramapo. But also, I understand when Ramapo, and I talked to a student when maybe it's not the best school for them because they're looking for a larger school or anything like that. So just be honest with us. We are admissions counselors. We do want to even try to help you find your best fit as well. So just be honest with us through your process.
One myth that I would like to debunk is that you do not need to know what you want to study, have your 10-year, 5-year, 20-year life plan figured out when you're coming to college. College is a great time to kind of explore and figure out what it is you want to study, what it is you want to do. I know at CNU specifically, we don't have our students officially declare their major until spring semester sophomore year. We have a big event called signing day. They get to go all dressed up and sign their major. And there's just plenty of resources and time to kind of figure that out your first year and a half at CNU. And I'm sure a lot of other schools are the same way. So don't stress if you don't know what you want to do. If you do know what you want to do, that may change down the road, and that's totally fine. And maybe you stick with something you've loved for a while. But you definitely don't need to have it all figured out as you graduate high school and start college.
So what I appreciated, I think, most about this panel is the diversity in types of institutions that we all represent. And having worked for a private institution, it's very easy to fall into the Googling tuition trap, if you will. And so a lot of families don't necessarily realize that private institutions can indeed be affordable, if not more affordable than our public counterparts, and that is through financial aid and scholarships. And so I'd like to debunk that myth, but also encourage students and families to thoroughly investigate all of the financial aid and scholarship opportunities at the institutions that you're considering prior to removing one from your list based on affordability alone.
To piggyback off Jessica, as Pace University, we are private as well. Sometimes the sticker price can be turned off to some people just looking at it straightforward. We do offer tons of merit scholarships and endowed scholarships to our students based on financial need as well. And also another debunk I would like to put out there is that just because your friend attends a university doesn't mean that you will enjoy that university as well. I've seen many students who go to universities because they have a ton of friends or they have their best friend going there and then finds out it's not a fit and then end up transferring later. So I would just say look at what you want to do for yourself and choose what's best for you.
Thank you all, and thank you all so much for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions throughout the rest of the week. You'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings, at strivescan.com/launch. Also remember that there's additional Launchpad programming throughout the week. Thank you.